Hey, how's it going? Wednesday, March 6, 2024. Best baseball player for the year 2012. Miguel Cabrera, back to back. He won 2011. Excellent year. He's in the Hall of Fame. He retired. He's got to wait the 5-year period, but he'll make it. First ballot. Where did he win? 3 categories, 2012. Nobody else had more. Home runs, 44. Runs batted in, 139. And total bases, 377. Let's look at his year, 2012. As you know, 2011, he won Best Baseball Player. He shared it with Jose Batista. So he goes back to back 2012. Plays 161 games. As you know, in 2011, the year before, he played 161 games. So back to back, playing the whole year, missing 1 game. 2011, listen to this. 30 homers, 105 RBI. Good, but he bats .344. 2012, he comes back. He's 29 years old. Plays 161 games. He hits 44 homers and has 139 RBIs. And 205 hits. And bats .330. 4 things I like with a player for a season. 100 runs scored. Cabrera, 109. 200 hits. Cabrera, 205. 100 runs batted in. Cabrera, 139. And a 300 batting average. Those 4 things for a player. Cabrera, 330. He goes 4 for 4. There's a 5th one. If you can get 400 total bases, you got 5 for 5. Well, he had 377 total bases. How many players have 5 for 5? All right, let's see. I'm gonna guess 3, maybe 4. Do you know who went 5 for 5? 100 runs scored, 200 hits, 100 RBIs, over 300 batting average, and over 400 total bases, all in the same year. 5 for 5. Who's done it? All right, well, let's go with the greatest baseball player of all time, Babe Ruth. Did he do it for 1 year? We know he's a 100 runs scored, 100 RBIs. We know that. We know the homers. We know the 300 batting average. We're not sure on the 200 hits, and we're not sure, but we do know the 400 total bases. He did that many times. All right, I'm going to look at his best year. He did it once. Babe Ruth, 1921 season, had 177 runs scored, 204 hits, 168 RBIs, whoa, bats .378, and has 457 total bases. So Babe Ruth did it. He also had a couple other 200 hit seasons, but you know, in those seasons, oh man, listen to this. In 1923, he had the 151 runs scored, he had the 205 hits, he had 130 RBIs, he had a .393 batting average, that's 4 for 4. Well, you know what happened on the total bases? 399. Just missed out. So by looking at Babe Ruth, the 5 for 5, he did it once, 1921. Let's pick another player. Let's go with Lou Gehrig. Did he do it? Let's look. Lou Gehrig. Did he go 5 for 5? 1927 season, he did. 149 runs scored, 1. 218 hits, 2. 173 RBIs, 3. 373 batting average, 4. And in 1927 had 447 total bases. 5 for 5, Lou Gehrig. Did he do it again? Yes. He's got 2. 1930 season, 143 runs scored, 220 hits, 173 RBIs, 379 batting average, and a 419 total bases. So he's done it twice. Guess what? Lou Gehrig 3 times. 1928. No, 1931. So 27, 1930, and 1931. Listen to this. 163 runs scored, 211 hits, 185 RBIs. Whoa. 341 batting average, and he goes 410 total bases. So 3 times Babe Ruth, or Lou Gehrig, 5 for times. Babe Ruth once. Lou Gehrig 3 times. Did he do it again? 1934, Lou Gehrig for the 4th time goes 5 for 5. 1934, 128 runs scored, 210 hits, 166 RBIs, 363 batting average, and he has 409 total bases. 5 for 5. 4 times Lou Gehrig. How about that? You want to hear something? 5 times. I just found it. 1936 season. So he goes 1927. He goes 1930, 1931, 1934, and listen to this. 1937 season. No, 1936 season. 167 runs scored, 205 hits, 152 RBIs, bats .354, and has 403 total bases. 5 times Lou Gehrig, 5 for 5. Incredible. Better than the Babe, as far as those categories. Who else went 5 for 5? Who are you thinking? I'm thinking Rogers Hornsby. Let's look at him. Did he have a 5 for 5? We put him in there. He's got 1922 season, 141 runs scored, 250 hits, 152 RBIs, bats .401, and has 450 total bases. 1. And the second time he did it twice, 1929. 156 runs scored, 229 hits, 149 RBIs, bats .380, and has 409 total bases. So Gehrig 5, Hornsby 2. Just 2 for Hornsby. Who else? How about Jimmy Fox? Do you think he did it? Oh, let's see. Let's put Jimmy in here. Jimmy Fox. Did he have a 5 for 5? Yes. 1932 season. 151 runs scored. 213 hits. 169 RBIs. 364 batting average. And 438 total bases. And he goes back to back. 1933, 125 runs scored, 204 hits, 163 RBI, 356 batting average, 403 total bases. So 2 for Fox, 2 for Hornsby, 5 for Gehrig, and 1 for Ruth. Is there anyone else you can think of 5 for 5? We can't do Ted Williams. Why? Because I know he doesn't have a 200 hit season. Did you know that? I think his high was 192 hits. Never had a 200 hit season. How about Henry Aaron? Oh, let's put Henry in there. Henry Aaron. Did he have a 5 for 5? Yes. 1959 season. 116 runs scored, 223 hits, 123 RBIs, 355 batting average, and 400 total bases. But he only did it once. And he only had 400 bases in one season one time. So Aaron did it. Did Mays do it? Willie Mays? We'll put him in. Let's see if Mays did it. Willie Mays. Yeah, Willie Mays only had one 200 hit season. But he never had a 400 total bases season, so he didn't do it. You know, there's another guy I think did it. And he's an obscure guy because he played in the 1890s. Ed Delante. I think he did it. Let's put him in. Ed Delante. No, I'm wrong. He didn't have 400 total bases. His high, 347, so he didn't do it. Who else you think would have done it? Would have had a 5 for 5? Can't think of anybody now. Mantle never got the 200 hits. You got to think of guys who are 200 hit guys. How about Al Simmons? I know he had a lot of 200 hit seasons. He's an old school guy. Al Simmons. Did he get 400 total bases? No, his high was 392. You know the player that has the most 400 total bases in one season? Who do you think had the most? 400 or more total bases in one season. Babe Ruth did it 2 times. He holds the record, 457 in one season. So he did it twice. But you know who has the most 400 total bases seasons? Lou Gehrig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Lou Gehrig, 400 or more total bases. So, as far as 5 for 5, Lou Gehrig stands out. Is there anybody else you can think of that went 5 for 5? 100 runs scored, 200 hits, 100 RBIs, 300 or better batting average, and 400 or better total bases. The only other way to figure this out is to say, hey, career record total bases. Career total bases leaders. What you do is you look at the guys who did it in a season. So you have, these are the guys who got 400 or more total bases in one season. Ruth, Hornsby, Gehrig, Chuck Klein, Jimmy Fox, Stan Musial, I forgot about him. Sammy Sosa, Hack Wilson, Luis Gonzalez did, Joe DiMaggio. Babe Ruth, Sammy Sosa, Larry Walker, Jim Rice, Todd Helton. All right, let's look at Chuck Klein, see if he has a 5 for 5. He's got 2 400 total bit. Yep, he did it. He's another guy we'll add to the list. 1930 season, 158 runs scored, 250 hits. Klein, wow. 170 RBIs. Woo! 386 batting average and 445 total bases. So we'll add him to the list. Chuck Klein. Who else? Did he do it again? Yep. I got 2 for Klein. 1932, 152 runs scored, 226 hits, 137 RBIs, bats 348 and 420 total bases. So 2 for Klein, 2 for Hornsby. Who else? Those are the only 2 times for Hornsby because he did it twice. Let's look at Stan Musial. Does he have the 5 for 5? Yeah, he's got one. He's got one 400 total base season. It was 1948. He had 135 runs scored, 230 hits, 131 RBIs, bats 376, 429 total bases. Just one time from Musial. Who else? Joe DiMaggio. How about him? Let's see if he had one 400 total base season, and it was 1937. He had 151 runs scored, 215 hits, 167 RBIs, 346 batting average, and a 418 total bases. So add him to the list. Who else? How about Hack Wilson? Short career for him. But 1 year he did it too. Wilson did it. He had one 400 total base season. It was 1930. Incredible. 146 RBIs, 208 hits, 191 runs batted in. Bats 356 and has 423 total bases. So add him to the list. Anybody else? Luis Gonzalez? He's new school. Did he do it? Nope, didn't do it. Anybody else? Sammy Sosa? No, I didn't get the 200 hits. Larry Walker, did he do it? Yeah, he did it once. 143 runs, 1997, new school. 143 runs scored, 208 hits, 130 RBIs, 366 batting average, and has a 409 total bases. So he's on the list. Anybody else? Joe Medwick? He did it. 1937, 111 runs scored, 237 hits, 154 RBIs, 374 batting average, 406 total bases. So he did it. Jim Rice, did he do it? Yeah, he did it. 1978, 121 runs scored, 213 hits, 139 RBIs, 370 batting average, 406 total bases. He did it. Anybody else? Todd Helton. He just got elected to the Hall of Fame. Did he do it? Yep, he did it. 2000 season, 138 runs scored, 216 hits, 147 RBIs, 372 batting average, 405 total bases. So he did it once. That's it. Those are the guys that went 5 for 5. 100 runs scored, 200 hits, 100 RBIs, over 300 batting average, over 400 total bases. Who are the guys? Lou Gehrig stands out 5 times. Roger Hornsby, 2 times. Jimmy Fox, Chuck Klein, Stan Musial, Hack Wilson, Joe DiMaggio, Larry Walker, Joe Medwick, Jim Rice, and Todd Helton. In the history of baseball, with over 20,000 players, these are the guys that went 5 for 5 with a unique stat on their resume. All right, back to Miguel Cabrera. He wins 2012. He's a Hall of Famer. 3,000 hits, 500 homers in his career, over 300 batting average. Miguel Cabrera. Let's look at him. Let's see. Miguel Cabrera. Where is he? Cabrera. I lost him. Yeah, I got him. 2012 season. He's a Hall of Famer. 2,797 games and gets 3,174 hits, 511 homers. Career batting average, I like it. 306. Never had the 400 total bases, but outstanding hitter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times over 300. He's a Hall of Famer. And where is he in my rankings? I'd say in the top 35. I put him right there. I don't know what number, but I'd say about 30 to 35 guys I would have ahead of Miguel Cabrera. But definitely Hall of Fame. Solid player. He wins 2012. Okay, I got sidetracked with the 5 for 5, didn't I? But I thought that's an interesting stat. We'll continue our countdown. We're going to look at the best baseball player for each year. We finished 2012. Next one, 2013. And our goal is 2023. We'll finish that. And that means in all these videos from 1871 until 2023, we've covered the best baseball player for each year. All right, thanks for watching here. We'll talk to you later, and I'm out.